Hello and welcome to our webinar. My name is Andre Lapaine. I'm the CEO at Zebra BI, and in today's webinar I will present how to create PowerPoint slides, PowerPoint presentations within Excel with the help of Zebra BI add-in. Now let's get straight to the point. In a typical business scenario, you would have probably two types of processes how to present. So we have ad hoc presentations, which you probably just do one time. So you need a fast tool, the ability to quickly create visuals for your slides, but it's only a one-time deal. So you really need to be fast and flexible and have the support for nice visuals that are clean and comprehensive, but at the same time also consistent from slide to slide and so on. Now in another type of scenario, there are a lot of presentations which are recurring in the nature, which means there's a monthly process or quarterly process. For example, presenting to the operating committee or executive committee and so on. So, and this process is really interesting because usually in companies, people spend quite a lot of time to prepare all those presentations each month. So there's quite a lot of time invested in preparing the slides, the visual, the reports, and this is then done each month, each quarter, and so on. It might also be a weekly process. So in this scenario, it is also important that you establish a repeatable process that is as fast as possible, which requires you to be able to develop some kind of updatable slides. At least a semi-automated process how your slide decks are updated with monthly data. So when your actuals are prepared for the next month, the time to prepare the end presentation for your management board should be as fast as possible. And you should not waste time for certain tasks that are repeated from month to month. So today, I will try to focus on this part, on the recurring presentations, on typical monthly business presentations. And I will try to explain how to set up this process so that you have reports and slides created in Excel, but also an updatable presentation, updatable slide deck that you can then just refresh with new data each month. So I will show you examples like, for example, like this one. So also not just a typical slides with one visual, with one chart. We will also cover that, but mainly I will try to focus on more professional business presentations, financial presentations, where you have to present more complex data, more KPIs. Maybe structures like this. This is a return on assets tree. So we have our return here, our net sales, our assets, and we have a time series. We have a yearly time series. So actuals from year 2009 to 13, and then we show the plan for next 2 years. Right, and we do that for net sales and other KPIs. And now, when you present the return on sales in percentage, this is actually a division, so you just divide return with net sales. So we have this explained in a tree structure. So it's a special type of it's a typical return on investment or return on assets tree, where the calculation of each KPI is actually displayed in a tree structure. So we have return on sales here, which are presented with a different chart because this here is a percentage. So we use dot chart for percentages, and then we use column charts, for example, for euros, so for values in currency. So the things that are the same, like million euros, look the same, but the things that are completely different should also look different in a slide. So this is one thing, but on the other hand, the things that are the same should also look the same. So always when you present your actual, this is one way how to do it. You use full filled columns, and the budget you use just the outline, like an empty frame that needs to be filled up next year, for example. So, and then at the end we have return on assets here in percentage, again the dot chart, or the lollipop chart as we like to call it as well. So yeah, we will create this slide. Then I will also show you how to increase the information density. Of course, the number of charts and number of elements and labels and so on a slide, on a presentations, heavily depends upon your target audience. Of course, if this is just some general audience, you would not create such such detailed and complex slides. But on the other hand, if you have a professional audience, especially in this recurring process, with a professional audience where people are already adjusted, where they already know the numbers, or at least approximately, they know the business, they know approximately the numbers. Of course, then those people are interested in more details, and they need to see comparisons of different markets and more complex explanations. So in this scenario, you need to increase the information density. So this is one way how to do it. And we will actually finish with a typical scenario. So, for example, now we have a presentation of net sales. It's actual versus budget according to some let's say by our customers. But here, this is now a slide for example, for the region Asia. And then next slide, North America, next slide, South America, and so on. So you might have multiple business units here. And this could be now, this is now a report, for example, for June or something. And then next month, you should be able to just update all those slides, all these slides for all the regions, for all your business units with just, a few clicks at least. So we will try to explain how to get here maybe from a pivot table in Excel. How do you create different slides like this? How do you link them into PowerPoint? And then how to set up the process of updating and refreshing the slides in the end on a monthly basis. So this is what we will cover today. So you see more slides, and let me switch now to let's do it like this. Let me switch to Excel. Let's start with a few simple examples, right? So here I have a data on EBITDA for the previous year. And then I have some variances according to strategic business units, and then the ending value for 2016. So this is a typical data that you would put in a waterfall chart. So let's start with a simple waterfall chart like this. Make it a little bigger. And okay, so this is my visual. So I think most of you already are quite familiar with creating charts in Excel with Zebra BI. So I would just like to focus today. I would just like to focus on creation of PowerPoint slides. So now, what are your options on creating PowerPoint slides? The first, most simple option is you select chart and just click export. That's it, right? So this is the most simple scenario where you just need one slide. You just need to create one simple slide, one visual. Okay, so in this scenario, you would probably just use the chart, and you would use your typical some sort of layout probably, and just do everything else in your PowerPoint, right? So in this way, Zebra BI, of course, helps to create the visuals and just transfer them to PowerPoint, and then you work in your PowerPoint, right? You type your message here and so on. So this is more or less useful for ad hoc scenarios, for rapid creation of slides that you need just for a one-time presentation. Now, if this would be if this would be on a monthly basis, then a better option is to create a slide, a PowerPoint slide, which is linked back to Excel. So that's why we have another option here. So the second option, PowerPoint with links. So this time I use this option here. Now this chart is now linked back to my Excel workbook, and I can just easily update this chart. Okay, so for example, if you do some changes now, so let's sort this, for example. Let's try to sort the strategic business units by the sort. My data has no headers, so actually column C, so by the variance, and we'll just sort it from largest to smallest. Okay, so this is now a better presentation, right? So now we see the business units that are on a positive side, and these are the ones that have negative growth. So this is now the previous year, 2015, and this is 2016, and this is the growth of each strategic business unit. So the variance, the difference between 2006 and 2015, right? So, but now what happens if I go back to my PowerPoint? You see this slide is already updated, okay? Because we have used the linked slide here. So now if you have Excel and PowerPoint both open at the same time, then the PowerPoint will immediately update all linked slides, right? But in the case where you would have, when you would close Excel workbook, then you can either open the Excel workbook, or just go here on each exported on each picture and click here update link. So this is now my updatable visual, and this one is the first one, so just a static picture which doesn't have this option to update it. So this is the beginning. These are the two basic options how to create visuals and transfer them to PowerPoint. But in a real situation, of course, you will have a little bit more complex scenarios. So for example, first here what would be interesting, for example, we would probably like to comment on certain variances perhaps. So what you can do in Zebra BI is use the comment signs, for example, like this. So, and then you mark the place where you will use a comment. So let's write a comment here. So you could just, and then you can use the text box, and you enter a comment here. Then let's add another comment. Maybe this time we comment here, and then another text box, and so on. So effectively, what you have now is the chart object, and then some comment symbols, comment markers, and maybe some other text boxes, and so on. You might have also more charts, like one chart object, another one, and so on. So now, how to create the PowerPoint slide with all the objects, you can just use the range in Excel. Okay, so this is a simple trick with Zebra BI. You can simply select a range in Excel. So this could be any range, and when you click export, again, I have now the slide, but this time I also have the comments, comment symbols, comment text boxes. So everything that is basically above the chart, everything that is on this range of cells will be visible. So in some cases, you can actually use this trick to present more charts in the same space. Right, so now maybe you would like to, yeah, maybe one idea would be to present also the relative variances, so the relative growth. So you could use another chart and then just place this other chart on top of the basic chart, and then again use the range. Now with this range method, you can again use exporting with links. Okay, so if I do it again, I have the same picture, only this time this one is updatable. So for example, if you again do something else, right? Maybe next month your values will change. You will do something else. When you go back, right? This one is updatable, and this one is static from last month, for example. So these are the basics of how to prepare visuals with comments and so on, and export them to PowerPoint. And this, of course, with the ability to use different types of charts, like structure charts, time charts, stacked charts, variance charts, and so on, and then the waterfalls. With this basic arsenal of charts, and with these two options of exporting to PowerPoint, together with options of commenting, you are now able to create ad hoc charts in a very fast way. Now, if we move on, of course, if you want to increase the information density, then you will probably need more charts. So let me go straight to this extreme example, where now I have actually 12 markets. These are pharmaceutical markets. We have used this example in our previous webinars already. So now I have 12 charts for my 12 markets. Okay, and this time I'm using previous year, this year, so this year values, previous year values, and then the differences by quarter. So this here is actually quarter over quarter growth, right? But this time I got 12 charts. This is called a small multiple. So it's basically a group of objects, a group of charts, and all the charts are completely scaled. So for example, if the tranquilizers are, the sales of tranquilizers is twice as big as the anesthetics, for example, then of course this chart is also twice as big. So all the charts, all 12 charts are scaled. So scaling, of course, is quite critical when you have more charts. Now let's just adjust the layout. For example, you can use it. Now it depends. It also depends what type of what layout of your PowerPoint slides you're using. So currently people still mostly use 3:4, so the classic ratio in PowerPoint slides. So for example, here this is a classic PowerPoint slide. So this is 4:3. The width is 4 and the height is 3. But if you want to use different types of slides, here you can actually set the slide size. So you can switch to widescreen slides, and then for example, you can use layouts that are more wide, that are wider. Okay, so in this case, but of course, if you would use the classic one, then maybe you would use the layout of 4:3, and then just switch here back to standard 4:3. With a little bit more sorting. So for example, let's just sort all the charts by the size of the last value. So this is the size of the actual sales in 2014. Let's sort descending. This will be, this is now a little bit more meaningful because now I have actually my most important market, which is painkillers in this case. I have it on the first place, then this is the second largest market, and so on. So this is now a meaningful and quite an elaborate analysis. But what you can do now, how to put it in PowerPoint, you can actually select the whole group, and just if you export it, you also get slide. Okay, so you have it in PowerPoint. Now, if you see, now we have a little bit of a problem with the height. Okay, so this is what a typical user would do. Okay, if the objects, the charts or tables or a combination of charts don't fit on your PowerPoint, then you start to resize the object, and this is a real danger in PowerPoint, because in the end, this here is when you present this, or if you print this, or if you send this to somebody via email and so on, this font size here of painkillers is not my original font size from Excel anymore, because it's just scaled. It's scaled down. So this may be font size 6 points or something. So it becomes too small. And this is a real challenge in presentations, also in reports, how to make sure that you have a 100% accurate sizes, font sizes. How do you make sure that your objects actually fit to the page exactly, so they're not scaled down or so on. So we will show this in just 1 minute. So what you want to do is, if this here is font size 11, for example, when you transfer this to your PowerPoint, it stays font size 11, right? Or of course more than 11. But the control over sizes and over is as important, or maybe even more important, than just colors and look and feel of your slides. So that's why we have two functions actually in Zebra BI. How do you control that? First of all is the style. Style is very important, because most business presentations that I have seen are just a collection of visuals that that are different from slide to slide. So on one slide you have a table, then on the next slide you may have a pie chart, then on the next slide you have some really clean, modern flat design bar charts or line charts and so on. But on the next one you again have a chart with some 3D effect and so on. So that's why we have a very important mechanism in Zebra BI that we call styles. So you actually specify your style. It's here under reporting standards. We call it a reporting standard, right? And under reporting standards, you can define more styles that you will use across your presentations. So most of you are quite familiar with this, I guess. So let me do this just quickly, present some ideas what you can do. So these are predefined styles that you already get when you download Zebra BI, even in the free version. In the free version of Zebra BI, in a free trial, you have all those slides, all those styles. So you have a lighter style, then you have a dark Zebra style, then you have the actual IBCS specification or recommendation with the black color and so on. And now, so let's for example, let's start from Zebra dark. Okay. Now what you can do is, if you want to change the colors, that's the first thing. The best idea would probably be first to use this definition and just click here on the plus sign, which will effectively copy the existing definition. Okay, so I'll just make a copy. I'll just make a copy and yeah, let's say this is my, let's say I'm an Alpha Corporation, so this is my Alpha style now. Okay, so now I have copied this style here, and now I can just change my definition. So for example, I will use, let's try some bluish design, maybe like this. Okay, try not to use spot colors. So very strong colors as basic colors. Maybe go a little bit to into gray, shades of gray, for example, something like that, right? I'm just inventing this. So if you want to make sure that this style matches your corporate design, then there's a simple way. You just put your exact definition here. So maybe you have, I don't know, 40, 80, and 160. Maybe that's your corporate style. So you can just copy this from your corporate design guidebook, the exact color code here. Okay, now my default color for charts is blue. Okay, so this is one thing. The other thing is then we have other types of colors. I'll explain this, but here we also have fonts. Okay, I'm not sure if you're familiar with this. So the basic, like the default font size in Zebra is 11, or in some styles it's also 10. But for example, if you would like to create bigger charts with bigger font sizes for presentations, for example, you can use you can just use larger font sizes. Maybe for labels. Then the section title is used on titles on charts, for example, and report title is usually used at the top of the slide as the key message. So you can set the font sizes here. And now I have my alpha style, for example. So now if I just go back and use and create the chart, or just I can actually apply this slide to existing charts as well. So let's just try how this looks now in the alpha style. So you see, I just got a bigger font here. I got a bigger font and I got the blue color in my default. This is my default color now. It's blue, right? So this is the default color. Then you have the green color. You can actually set the exact green color for positive variances. You can set the exact red color for negative variances. And okay, but there are also a few more colors. So let's just continue with this alpha style here. So you see, again, this is exactly font size. Was it 14? I think it's 14. And but you see now you have in some charts, of course, you have more colors than just one color. So for example, in waterfall charts, you have the basic, the neutral color. So this is always a result of a calculation. But then you have the positive, the positive series, the elements that are added up, and then you have some costs which are subtracted in the waterfall chart. So you have two more colors, and these colors are here. We just call them good and bad. So good ones are the ones that are used here, and it's usually a good idea to use the same or a very similar color for good as your neutral color. Now I don't remember, was it? I think it was this one. Okay, so you can actually use exactly the same color. And then for bad, it's usually, I actually like black for bad, or in this case, maybe some really dark blue or something. And okay, now I have changed my definition of alpha style, and then you need to apply it once more to the chart, and now you have it, right? So this is then how you control the exact colors and how you control the exact font sizes. This is one part of it. Now the good part of this style definition now here is first that it will ensure that all your slides are consistent. So the design of all your visuals on all your slides will be according to your exact style definition, and which will by default ensure that you have consistent slides, which is extremely important in a presentation. But it's actually much more, because it's not just about one presentation and nailing a style in just one presentation. It's about all the people, all the users in your company using the same corporate style, so that you don't have users who will use magenta color, or red or blue, and some of them will use more grayish and so on. So that's why you can actually share this style among everybody in the company who is creating reports or presentations in Excel. So you do that simply by exporting this file definition. So if you click here on export, you will see that Zebra BI will create a style definition file, which is actually an XML file. You save this. It will be saved in the templates directory, in the templates folder here. But you can just just select another, just put it to desktop or something. Save it, and your style definition was successfully exported. And then the other user will use the import button, select the file, and then open it once again. Now, in my case, of course, now I'm importing the same definition, so Zebra will notify me that the style with the same name already exists. Do I wish to overwrite it? And I don't want to do this now, but that's how you get it. Okay, now I actually have the copy because I have selected no, so I have a copy of it here. Okay, so this is the basics. I would actually recommend to try to stick to the basic definitions that are already here. So usually the gray basic color works best, because then if you have this, if you have just simple, no color, black and white or gray, white base values, then the focus of the visualization is on the variances, which is usually the most important information in any business report or a presentation. Okay, so for example, now I have another example here. And here the same challenge here, right? So this is now a report. It consisting of two charts. They are scaled. Okay, so how did I do that? I have used the data from January to December actual and budget. I use this chart, so the column with overlapped column. Okay, now I'm still using here the alpha style, you see. So this is actually my default style. If you change the default style, it means that everything that you will insert now will be in this exact style. Okay, so I'll just switch back to ZebraBI. Use this chart. So this is my lower chart here. Let's put this to thousands. A little bit more clean. And this one here, this is a waterfall chart again, but only the variances, because here at the end I have year-to-date values. So I find this way of presenting monthly variances quite interesting, because you also see how they stack up over month over month, and you have the year-to-date value, so the running total of all the actual month. That's why I have formula here to calculate my year-to-date, and I have the equal sign here for the variance waterfall chart, just to mark that this is a result at the end. Now I select everything, so let's create this one again. So see, this is again a waterfall chart, but it actually consists only of variances, so it only has green and red variances here. Let's also put this one to thousands, and okay, this is now clean. Now the variances should actually be scaled with the base chart here. So you can select both charts. This is Shift plus click, select both charts, and then scale both charts. And now they are rendered on the same scale. Okay, this is now the correct picture. This variance here, January, is exactly the difference between my plan, my budget here, and the actual, which was in fact bigger than my plan, which is fantastic. So I have the positive variance here. So this is how I created it. Now, of course, you can also add titles, maybe link it like this or something else. So you create the whole report. Okay, if you want to if you have moved a little bit your charts to the left or to the right, for example, like this, then you can just select the whole group like this, and here you will find some helper features, some function that will help you align all the charts and objects that you use, for example, like this. Okay. And because on every PowerPoint the alignment and the use of space is actually a very strong design element. So make sure that your charts are aligned and so on. So now the challenge is our last challenge now. Okay, now I can export this. Okay, I get another one, but still you see it's where do I put it? Do I put it here or here and so on? If you have more slides, it's actually better that you have a page template and you use the page template from the very start. Okay, so that's why I will now show you how to use the page templates in ZebraBI. Let's close this Excel and oops. Let's do the return on assets tree template report. So this is my final report. Okay, and let's just create it. Okay, this is my data here. Okay, it's my data, and now I will start my process with by adding a page. Okay, and here you will see some templates that are already shipped with the Zebra BI. If you actually see, you know, picture like this, you can always switch here to another view. So this is how you actually get the preview. We'll use this template. So this is in fact the exact template that I'm using in my slide. All the page templates have a few features. First of all, if you open here, this is the place where you should prepare your data. So let's just start with this. I'll just copy my data here. Sorry, this is the template. Okay, so this is now my data. Okay, so now I have actual until from years 2009 to 13, and then I have my plan for the years 14 and 15. If you have actual and plan data, just put them in, you know, in another column next to actual. Now what we'll do is first we'll create the charts. This time I'll use the time chart. Okay. Again, you see this is actually a small multiple because I have 3 KPIs here. You know, they stick together. So I have return in million euros, actual and plan, and then I have net sales, actual and plan, assets, actual and plan. Just make sure that the labels here, actual plan, are exactly the same. So there's a repeating pattern in the labels, and that's how Zebra BI will recognize that you have more KPIs or more business units and so on. It will immediately create the small multiple. Now let's display this actually in millions. Maybe we can use 1 decimal here. So you see everything I do on one chart is automatically done on all charts in the group at the same time. Now I need to put all those charts exactly into, you know, into this template. So this is where the function of move chart, or we like to call it the snap move function. So I can just click here and just point to the range, select the range where I want this chart to be moved, and it's here, right? We'll put the return here, and assets, we'll put them here. Okay, to make it even a little bit more clean, you can delete some of the labels here. Usually you don't need all the labels on all charts, right? So make sure you check what is important, and then at the end, you know, manually delete some labels. Now this is my return, this is my net sales. So here I will put the return on sales, and here I will have the asset turnover, so assets divided by net sales. So this is now actually, this is going to be divided. Here also the calculation is it's a division. So now we will, so this is now a formula. So this is return on sales, return divided by sales and multiplied by 100 to get the percentage. Let's use, this time I will use the pin chart or the lollipop chart. It's right here. Okay, I got 2 charts there. Again, they are scaled. So return on sales goes here. And this will be my final return on assets, right? So this is my final result. And here in between, I have assets. I have asset turnover, which is asset divided by sales. So I'll use this one, asset turnover. Yeah, like this. And this is it. Okay, so this is my ROI tree. But now, okay, I can close this. So, but now I have the template, I have the page template. So now if you click export, we will see that the, oh, sorry. Okay, so now you see I have the slide, which is which exactly fits the PowerPoint, right? So it's exactly the size of the PowerPoint slide, and this is the major benefit of using page templates, because they are all the templates are calculated exactly to fit the PowerPoint slides. There's another advantage also if you want to print pages directly, if you're using the page templates of ZebraVI. Also, the printouts are, you know, this is 100%, so it's no scaling. So this is exactly font size 10 or 11, whichever you're using. Even if you do the printout, you will get the same. The same nice result. All right, so this is how you work with templates, adding charts, and this is how you now build more complex and more organized slides, which are actually real, you know, which is a real requirement in business reporting. But now let's create this one. Okay, I have promised we'll do the updatable example. Oh, where I have it? I've moved it. Yeah, I've moved it here. Sorry. Okay. Now this is the one. Now I have the situation where I have a pivot table, and my charts here are actually linked to the pivot table. So let me just generate this once more. Okay. So this time I've used another page template here. This is my data section, and I have used I have inserted a pivot table here. So this is actually a pivot table. So let's we can show the pivot table fields here. So I have some I have some brands here. I have a business unit in my filter, and I have actuals and budgets. So for example, you can just say, okay, actual and budget, let's visualize the variance, and I'll use this chart. Okay, and I will put it here. So this is the first part of my report. Okay, so now here I have the actuals, so they are black, and the variance. Okay, so unfortunately my strongest brand is or a customer or something is has a negative variance to budget and so on, right? Here I actually have the actual values in a column. That's why I don't need the labels, all the labels in chart. So I can go here and just switch the label density for actuals to none, but I will leave the variance labels here. Okay, so now I have this is the absolute value, this is the net sales in $1 million and so on, and this is the absolute variance. If you want to add the relative variances, so in percentage, again you can use the variance. This time, because this is a percentage, I will use the lollipop chart. So try to always use the same chart for the same meaning. This will now be a percentage. Okay, so let's switch this to relative. Now ZebraVI has calculated the relative variance, and I will move this chart here like this. And this is how I build, you know, a full report, a full slide. This is now my relative variance. We can see in relative variances, you will get in a real situation, you will sometimes get values like 238% and so on. If you want to limit the values on such a chart, you can just click here and let's set the limit. Let's limit all these outliers to maximum. Let's say 100. Let's try this. Okay, so now Zebra BI will only display values until 100%. 100%. If the value is bigger, we have an outlier. So that's why I get an arrow here, but I still have the exact, number, the exact value of the percentage. But now this is my report. This is my report. I will now export it to PowerPoint with links. Okay, so this is now my first report for Western Europe. Okay. Now, if I go back, now what you can do is, now we have the Western Europe here. This is my first business unit, okay? But you need a report and you need, maybe 5 slides for 5 business units. One way how to do it is simply by copying the worksheet, okay? So this is next feature that will help you. I'm now copying the worksheet. So I actually pressed Control button while dragging the worksheet, or you can just go here and use the copy, move or copy, right? So now I have a copy of the same report, and I just switch to my next business unit. Okay, let's try Australia. Okay, and I have the next one, export to PowerPoint, preferably with links. Okay, this is now Australia, and you get the idea. So you just copy for each business unit, you just make a copy and use the next filter here. Of course, when you're done, then you will just close the data section so you have a clean Excel report, but at the same time, you also, did I do the export? So this is now the Eastern Europe. And now, if you run this presentation, you have first slide, Western Europe, next business unit, and so on. And all the slides are updatable, right? So now, so this is how you actually create a monthly presentation with linked slides back to your Excel. You will save it. Let's save it in the same folder. So this is now your monthly report, something like that. Okay. And let's try to close this now and just see what happens. I have it here. Next time you open this presentation, anybody that will open this presentation will get this security notice. This is a feature of PowerPoint, where PowerPoint will ask you if you want to update the links or not. Okay, so I'll just use cancel now. Okay, and now I get the slides. Of course, if you click update links at the beginning, PowerPoint will go ahead and update all the slides in this presentation to the latest data in your Excel. If you want to prevent this, then you can go to File, and here in this so-called backstage view, you will find this function, edit links to files. Okay, this is important when you have linked presentations. Let's open this. Okay, and now PowerPoint is actually presenting you all the links. So I have 3 slides. They are all, each slide is linked to a range of cells in Excel. And now what you usually want to do is, here you have the option called automatic update. If you disable this, and then close. Okay, here you can also update. This is the quickest way how to update, because you can actually update all the slides at once. So you just, if you click update now this one is updated, and then the next one and the next one. Now in the old versions of Excel, you could actually select with shift click, you could select all the links. So you could have 30 or 50 slides at once and just update it once. But now in the version of 2013 and 2016, unfortunately, this does not work anymore. It's probably a bug in PowerPoint that they haven't fixed yet. But still you can, still this is the easiest way to update all the slides at once. And now if you have disabled all the automatic updates, close, and just save the file, then next time when you open this presentation, or if somebody else will open this presentation, okay, this presentation just opens without this security notice, okay, because there was no need to update the links. And then you just, when you want to actually update the links, like in, with when you have actuals for the new month, you just go back here and update all the links manually yourself, so you have the full control. So when you send this PowerPoint slide to somebody else, they won't even know that they are linked to some sort of Excel files and pivot tables and stuff. They will just see the pictures like this. And so this was a quick presentation how you can build updatable presentations. One warning here, the links here, you can actually see that. The links here point back to my Excel file. So this is the name of my Excel file. So pivot table example.xlsx, and then this is the range of cells in my Excel. So now you have to be careful because if you now change the name of this file, for example, if you save it, if I would now rename this file here to something else, like maybe you'll do something like that, April 2016 or something like that. Now I will get an error. The linked file was unavailable and can't be updated. Okay, so just the simple strategy here would be to always have just the same, the same name of this file. Don't change it. But when you have new data, before you update it, you make a copy and you just rename the old one. Okay, so for example, if the old one was March 2016, you rename the old one, but you still have this original, the last actual one. You don't change it. But if you need to change it, then you can go here, edit links to file, and here you can change the source and you can control. You can control the links, but you'll be safer not renaming the files. Okay, 1 hour is finished. So this was a brief presentation how you can use Zebra BI to create presentations, ad hoc presentations, and monthly presentations. In 2 weeks' time, we'll have another webinar. This is a series. This was the 7th webinar in our series. We will continue to do so. So if you have special wishes, what you would like me to prepare, please send us an email. Follow our blog. If you haven't tried this yet, you have a 30-day free trial version of Zebra on our website. Follow us on social, and I guess you also have some questions. So now let's take your questions, please. If you have anything on your mind, please type your questions into the questions box. Thank you, Thomas. I'm glad you liked it. I hope it was something new. We have some people who are already very advanced. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, everybody, for all the good wishes. If you have any other, if you have any actual questions? Let's wait another minute to see. This is all great feedback. Thank you, guys. We will prepare the recording and we will upload the recording like we do each time. And for the next webinar, which I hope will be in 2 weeks, we are preparing more examples on pivot tables, how to use pivot tables, how to use slicers, to show you how you can really completely automate your reports from the database through Excel, pivot tables, or Power Pivot, and so on, and then into other options. Well, thank you very much. Then I guess there are no more questions. Thank you very much, and hope to see you in 2 weeks. Bye.